You've tuned in to the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
You realize what you've done?
With Rich Liebig.
The real gangster plays his cards, right?
And Michael Costanzo.
What was that you just read?
Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news.
Good times, noodle salad.
The point is, you now have the ability to be happy.
And now, here's Rich and Mike on the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
Hey, how you guys doing?
What's up, everybody?
It's time for this episode of the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news. I'm Rich Liebig.
And I'm Mike Costanzo.
And it is Super Bowl week. This is one of our favorite times of the year, but it is doubly so that our own Philadelphia Eagles are in it. I mean, this is all that you can talk about here in the Philadelphia area. So we're going to get to that hype in just a little bit in the sports sampler. But before we get to all that, as well as the entertainment entree and the non-fortune cookie odd news that we usually do here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast, Mikey, how are you doing? What is up in Costanzo country?
I'm doing just swell. Like you said, the birds are in the Super Bowl. I've been oscillating between excitement and dread for the past week, and I think that's going to continue until probably about 10:30 on Sunday. But
later than that.
Later than that? You think it's going to go later?
The Super Bowl, I feel like always ends at like 11:30 now.
11:30.
Because the halftime
it
show
starts at 6:30. What are you talking
the
about?
halftime show is like an hour now. They take forever with the halftime show.
I know.
And the beginning show, too.
And I never know any of these people performing on any of these damn shows. Like, I've heard of their names, but I don't know them, you know?
The beginning now is like 30 minutes between.
What's the beginning?
They sing like 3 different America songs now.
I think you need like one tops.
Right. I thought it was just the national anthem, but no, it's like a full-blown like set list now.
No, that's too much. So I'm not going to worry about that until Sunday. But what I've been watching in the meantime is I'm trying to, of course, do my Best Picture nomination viewings.
Oh, yes. Very good.
I've seen a couple already so far, Wicked, Conclave.
So add me on that
Dune.
list.
You saw Wicked?
I saw Wicked, yeah.
Nice. Very good. Did you get a chance to check out The Substance yet?
No, not yet.
Okay. I think that you might really enjoy The Substance. It is kind of like a sci-fi horror commentary on beauty standards, where the basic premise of the film is, what if you could take a drug that makes the best version of you come out? So like there's you, but then there's like you at an 11 out of 10. Like,
oh boy.
Like the absolute perfect like Greek Adonis version of yourself, and you get to live in that perfect 11 out of 10 world for a little bit of time, and then you go back to regular you, and then you switch back and forth between these two versions of you. And I'm trying to stay vague because I don't want to give away,
right.
But that's like the basic premise of like the sci-fi element behind it, and taking that and just coupling it with this crazy character journey of this like starlet who had like this crazy rise to fame, and then at the start of the film she turns 50 and they're like, yeah, we're done with you.
Well, I mean, 50, even that's kind of given some extra years. I mean,
in Hollywood, yeah.
There are some stories out there that, you know, when women hit like 35, 40, or when they had a kid, it was like,
you're done. So the movie is a commentary on that. It's a commentary on...
They're being generous with 50.
Yeah, so it's really good stuff.
Although, actually, now also means that when it comes to like athletes too, like 30 is like, 30, you might be on the wrong side of 30
and
now.
if you dare hit 35 as an athlete, you are like, the way that people talk about you, it's just, it's like you're the crypt keeper.
Yeah. It is funny, like that perception of like certain milestones.
It's true. It's true. In these types of industries, like you get past a certain age and you're basically dead to them. Yeah. So it's taking that, and
you
it's
might as well have a foot in the grave.
I know, exactly, and that's how they treated this character in the film, and so that prompts her to pursue this sci-fi solution of bringing out the best version of her, so she can continue to live that starlit life. The movie is a sensory spectacle. The camera angles, the audio, the like crazy effects that they have, the lighting, the contrast, like everything about it is just like it's like a marvel for your eyes and your ears. But then you have the horror element, and I will say this: if you're not into body horror, you will very much dislike this movie.
Yeah, I know some people aren't.
There are some scenes in there where, I mean, like, Jordan was, like, shrieking. Like, it's, like, really, like stuff that just, like, makes your, like, your whole body tingle and, like, it's just not, it's, like, really gross out stuff. But if you can get past the body horror stuff, it's a really cool sci-fi commentary on beauty standards and a really awesome character arc of this character's kind of spiral. I think it's like one of the best movies I've watched so far. I've seen 4
So
of them.
it's deserving of being nominated
Absolutely.
and all the hype?
Yeah, absolutely. It's got nods for picture, director, actress, and screenplay, as well as best makeup and hairstyling. I think it's deserving of all of them. Really, really good stuff. It's probably my second favorite behind Wicked, actually. It's still my favorite of the 4 that I've seen.
Okay.
But speaking of Wicked, I don't know if that's what you're planning to talk about, but I want to know your opinions on the movie, since I've been hyping it up to pretty much everyone.
Yeah, I enjoyed Wicked. I saw it with Rachel. We were able to get it on Prime, I think it was.
Nice.
I think that was the one that was available. Yeah, we watched it. It was a fun musical adaptation. Unfortunately, though, I was looking at the odds on
Is it a long shot?
Best Picture nominees. Yeah, unfortunately, the Academy does not review musicals very favorably.
They don't like musicals.
Yeah, unfortunately, Wicked is down in the bottom with like Dune 2, so I don't think.
Well,
Yeah.
it's a musical, and it's also a genre musical. It's like fantasy, so I didn't think it had high hopes. It's one of the best reviewed ones,
Yeah,
but that doesn't mean anything.
yeah. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it. I wasn't. I'm not gonna say it's like one of the best movies I've ever seen or anything like that, but
No.
yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Music was very good. Set designs were crazy.
Right?
Especially you were telling me most of it is practical.
It's mostly practical. Like that opening scene with all those flowers, they grew those fields of flowers just for that shot.
Yeah.
Which is like insane to me.
Right.
If you see the movie, it's
What
like
is it, like
miles of flowers.
And what is it, like a 5-second shot, 10-second
Yeah,
shot? It's
like
not. Yeah.
Tops. 10 tops. Yeah.
I loved the person that plays the wizard.
That's a contentious point for fans of the stage musical.
I enjoyed
But
it.
I knew you'd like that.
I enjoyed that twist.
Yeah.
But yeah, I overall enjoyed it. I did find it weird that it's part 1 of 2. I was
Yeah.
that was really awkward that it came up like to be continued. I was like, oh, okay. So I think that's a little awkward.
It is a little weird. That's the first act of the stage musical, and again, I don't know. I mean, like, it's a 2.5-hour stage musical, and they're going to get 2.5-hour films. So there's like a lot.
It seems like they're stretching some things out.
Yeah. Now, fair warning: the second act is shorter than the first, so I don't know if they're going to stretch it even further.
Yeah, they really could be.
Or if it's going to be like just a shorter movie. I don't know, but it'll be interesting. But of the best picture movies you've seen so far, because we've seen Conclave together. Yes. Have you seen Dune 2? I feel like
I saw Dune 2.
So where do you rank the 3 that you've seen? And have you seen any others?
No, I think those are the 3 that I've seen. So I need to do some more viewing before I can.
It's not a good sample size.
Yeah, I need to try and I need to crack at least half before I can do a ranking.
I always try to do at least 5 of the 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did get to watch Wicked, so check that off the list. Actually, here's something else I want to mention is I went to go see Joe Conklin comedy night
cool.
over the weekend, so that was
Nice.
cool. And he did a whole bunch of Philly sports impressions and
Nice.
oh he does a really good Harry Callis. Like somebody was saying that they were sad that Harry Callis is not around because like one of the last things that he did for that person specifically was gave him a voicemail for him to use on his personal phone.
That's really cool.
But like I was, listening to Conklin. It was like, oh my gosh, he could just fill in.
He could do.
Yeah, he did a really good job doing his impression.
Oh, what are they called? He could do a cameo.
Yeah, right.
Sell cameos. Can you do that? Can you sell a cameo of you doing an impression?
Why not? I don't see why not. I think that's fair.
I guess, yeah.
Especially when it's spot on like that. And he did some other great ones like Iverson and Merrill Reese. Oh my God, he crucified Merrill Reese for all of the weird commercial interruptions that he has to put in the game broadcast. Yeah.
Boy, that was a great sack. And speaking of sacks, buy a sack of potatoes at the Acme. It's always something ridiculous.
Yeah. That was a tackle for a loss. Don't you lose your money at Citizens Bank Ballpark. Yeah, it was like, what the? Jeez, we're trying to watch a game here, Merrill. I know.
Hey, look, he's got a job to do.
Right. Yeah.
You got to hit those ads.
Yes. Yeah. That was a touchdown. Speaking of downs, don't let your stocks go down. Make sure you get in contact with E-Trade today or something. Yeah, something bad like that. But anyway, yeah, it was a good show to go see over the weekend. So.
Nice.
All right. But all of this is, leading up to our first batch of topics that revolve around sports. Let's dive in finally with the sports sampler.
So you're not good at sports. It's a very small part of life.
Sports. In your face. Ha ha!
That's right. Sports here. But before we dive into the Super Bowl, the NBA was able to get headlines going this week because of a massive shock trade. I mean, this is how you know it's important. It cracks our show during Super Bowl week while the Eagles are in it. I mean, that's how monumental this trade is, as we see two star players essentially being traded almost evenly. The Dallas Mavericks essentially trading Luka Dončić to the Lakers for Anthony Davis and a first-round pick. I know there's some weird things with Utah and stuff like that, but really for the common fan, this is the main meat of the trade. This came out of nowhere. I mean, even the NBA insiders that you usually see on ESPN, on SportsCenter, on podcasts, nobody heard that this was coming down the pike. It just hit, and everybody was just left dumbfounded. People thought it was fake news. People thought it was an Onion article. People thought it was somebody playing a prank. But no, this is legitimately happening. I mean, it's unbelievable that we can still get away with shock trades in this era of online journalism and digital media.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I think that's the most shocking thing to me is that usually when a big trade is about to happen, you start to hear rumors of, oh, this person's being shopped, or, oh, this team has contacted this team. Are they asking about such and such? Just nothing.
Yeah.
And yeah, completely stealing the headlines for at least a day from the Super Bowl shenanigans. So really big world-shaking stuff in the NBA. But why exactly is it so world-shaking? Because, when you brought this up, I'm like, I literally don't care. But then,
I know, you're in football mode.
But no, then you took the time to explain it to me, and I'm like, okay, I get this situation, so why don't we explain it to everybody why this is such a big deal?
All right, so first off, these are definitely two-star players. I mean, even the most common, even the most, just kind of fair-weather NBA fan.
I've heard of the names.
Yeah, they've heard of these players.
I wouldn't know anything else about them, but I've heard them, which is saying something.
Yeah. So on the Dallas end of things, the talk about this is that they did not want to give Luka a max contract. He's been battling a nagging ankle injury this season, and allegedly results of poor conditioning as he has showed up to some of the season opening practices a little overweight. And that doesn't bode well if you're dealing with ankle injuries, because that's more weight you got to put on your ankle.
Especially for a sport like basketball, where you're constantly running and cutting and jumping, any foot, lower leg injury, and then added weight and poor conditioning, that's just a recipe for disaster.
Yep. For LA, though, this is huge because basically Luka is going to augment LeBron James's last playoff run, which is probably going to be this year. But also, he can then take over as the star of LA when LeBron James reportedly retires, which is probably going to be this year.
Right.
But so that helps out the Lakers, that they can just kind of pass the torch easily from LeBron James to Luka if LeBron James decides to hang it up at the end of this year. For Dallas, though, they also get a first-round pick, so that'll help them in future rebuilding. But they also get Anthony Davis, who was doing nothing wrong. He was averaging double-double numbers consistently. I think his last 2 games, actually, with the Lakers, he was scoring in 30, 40-point ranges. Like,
wow.
There's nothing wrong with him. Just the number on his, he's going to turn 32, I believe, in March.
Yeah.
That's the only thing going against him.
Yeah, I mean, time is definitely not on his side, but if the Mavericks are only looking for a short-term solution, then yeah, it's not the worst move. I do think ultimately LA wins this trade. I mean, anytime you can get a young superstar, obviously the potential ceiling is just that much higher.
Yeah.
Like, Anthony Davis, great player, but there is a timeline. And, we talked about at the top of the show about how once you get past a certain age in entertainment, it's 40. In sports, that magic number is, in fact, 30. Every year after 30, the questions of injury, retirement grow louder and louder, right? So what's he got? Maybe 3 to 5 years, maybe? And how many of those are going to be super productive?
Yeah.
Whereas if Luka can get his conditioning under control, you might get another 8-9 years out of the guy.
Right. He begins the next run of the Lakers dynasty or something.
Right. You're set up for the next decade potentially. So
the only problem, though, with this is between Luka and LeBron, they're both kind of shooters, and they both kind of play at top of the key roles.
Yeah.
So it is awkward that right now the Lakers don't really have like a strong center. They don't really have anybody down in the post that's going to get their rebounds and funnel them back to Luka and LeBron.
So I don't know much about basketball, but I feel like basketball, like other modern day sports, is trending in the direction of offense. And typically a center is considered like a more defensive minded player, right?
Well, I mean,
so is it
not necessarily? You need a big guy down in the center to get you your rebounds back. Those second chance shots really help out a team.
Big guy versus a 6'6" guy who can just jump, because usually a 7'1" guy isn't really jumping all that high. They're too big, like a smaller guy might have more ups. I mean, look at Allen Iverson. He had ups back in the day, I'm sure.
Yeah, but he wasn't
I'm sure LeBron and Luka are not struggling for rebounds.
No, but they're not stationed in the post. Like, you usually play them out on the wing.
Do modern day teams need a big man? The Sixers have the best big man, quote unquote. So, and like for who, for what?
So I'll say this. I think what you're getting at is more. You don't need like an elite top 5 center. But
like
I think
the Sixers tried to do.
Right. But I think you need somebody. I think it's important that you need to have some sort of proven talent down there, because second chance opportunities really help you out in winning games, especially tight games, especially when you get to playoffs and those tight games. So it'll be interesting to see if this experiment works, because
it looks like
you might just constantly be shooting, but
it looks like it's a very clear and decisive move towards just being a shoot-first, offensive-minded team.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can shoot 3s and 2s more accurately than the other team, you don't need rebounds. That might be their logic. If we could just outshoot them, then we'll just let statistics run out its course. If the other team is shooting 40% and you can consistently shoot 50, well, math is math,
Just let the statistics come to you.
I mean, is that the craziest thing when it comes to basketball? I don't think so.
It's not the craziest, no.
It's close to being the craziest, but it's not the craziest.
Yeah. This is definitely making headlines around the NBA, and it's definitely enough to steal some thunder away from the Super Bowl coming up this week.
Yeah.
So
that's the most impressive thing for me, is that it stole some of the the airtime away from the Super Bowl, which is crazy.
Yeah. So that's how you know that this was definitely a monumental shift in the NBA sphere. Because, yeah, it just turned heads. People couldn't believe it. I mean, literally, I had text messages from a couple friends that were like, "Is this really happening? Can you find another source on this?"
Meanwhile, I'm over here like, Luka who? I don't care. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But no, it is still just like you said, a monumental shift in basketball, and we'll see how these differing strategies play out. And I still think LA got the better end of the deal, but we will see as. Are they even in the season? See, I don't even know if basketball's happening right now.
Oh yeah, they're in the middle of the season.
Oh yeah, that's right, because the Sixers are bad.
Yes,
that's
right. And
right.
also 20 teams make the playoffs now, so it doesn't matter.
So both these teams are basically guaranteed.
You
to
just
make
need
the
to have
playoffs.
a pulse, and you make the playoffs.
Right. The Sixers lack one of those, so
yes,
that's unfortunate. But yeah, so there you go. That's Luka Dončić being traded to the LA Lakers, trying to start a new Lakers dynasty out there.
All right, but you know what it's time for? We need to finally get into everything. Yes,
I'm ready.
This weekend is the Super Bowl. I mean, this is monumental. Eagles are in it. Everywhere you go, this is what people are talking about here in Philadelphia. So many things, that obviously we can't stress the importance of how, this game is.
Yeah.
But one of the things that we can do, and one of the things that we do every year, is that I like to check out the gambling. I like the sports book apps and everything like that. But that this game is so watched and so contested and so nitpicky that I like to go deep into the sports books and the bookies all across the country. And I like to try to find the weirdest prop bets that I can find that are actually being offered to bettors as we go into Super Bowl Sunday. And as I do every year, I have the results that what I have found. So I'm going to play my gambling music. Yep, here we go. Here we go. Strap in. It's time for the oddest prop bets that I can find.
This is one of my favorite segments of all time. I love the weird stuff, so
yes,
let's get right into it.
All right, here we go. All right, let's start off with the beginning because, this is where it all starts. The coin toss.
Okay.
But we are not just going to stick with just who's going to win the coin toss. No, we are going with will the team that wins the coin toss also win the Super Bowl?
Okay.
This is important because apparently teams that have won the coin toss are actually on a 9-game losing streak.
Oh.
How about that for a interesting statistic? So you may not want to win the coin toss. If you think that the trend will change and you want to answer yes, it is 3-1.
Huh.
Again, this is all luck.
Yeah, betting on something like the coin toss, that I don't see a lot of promise in that. But I mean, sure. But based on that statistic, I hope the Eagles lose the coin toss.
Yeah, right. We need the Eagles to lose the coin toss.
Absolutely.
Because we don't want to be we don't want to try and fight that. A 9-game losing streak.
Yeah, no, don't want to.
For
I don't
whoever-
want to have to go against the tide of the fates.
Yes. All right. Now the national anthem. That's always a big point of contention. The national anthem length is the over-under is 120.5 seconds. John Baptiste is doing the national anthem. It has gone over the last 5 of 6 times.
I feel like people want to make the most of their time in the spotlight.
Yeah.
So you said it's 120
and a half seconds. So 2 minutes or less, or 2 minute, 1 second and over.
I feel like it's probably not that hard to hit the 2 minute, 2 second mark. I feel like it's got to be over. You just said it's happened over how many times?
It's gone over the last 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I think the odds are in your favor to go over. Right?
Okay. Next, will John Baptiste perform the national anthem with a piano? That is his signature musical item, but that doesn't mean he has to bring it out on the field. He might just opt to just sing with the microphone. That's it. He might not play the piano.
I mean, it would be really cool with the piano, though.
If you say no, it is 3-1. So
okay. And if you say
they're
yes,
expecting yes.
they're expecting the piano?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
it would be
might.
cool.
He might switch it up.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do. I labeled this section as, "Hey, that's not your job."
Okay.
Because I don't know if this is something new, but I feel like this is. But because the Eagles and Andy Reid both kind of employ aggressive play calling and trick plays,
Right.
there are kind of weird position plays on positions that you wouldn't think go with that play.
Okay.
So here is 3 of the bets that I found. Will a quarterback record a reception?
No.
If it is, it's 16-1. Will a non-quarterback throw a touchdown?
Oh. I think there's a higher probability of that than a quarterback making a reception.
Okay, it's a little bit less at 14-1, but still,
Okay.
those are really good odds. And then also, will an offensive lineman score a touchdown?
I think there might be the highest probability of that one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but do the Eagles use a lineman as a fullback in some packages? Or is that a linebacker? I can't remember that person's name or position. But do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it's a lineman. I
I
think
don't think
he's...
it's okay. They might be
Is
on
it
the
Calcaterra? Don't they bring him out?
There's another guy, is it Van Sumeren or something like that. Is he a linebacker? It might be a linebacker.
Maybe.
Anyway, what are the odds on that one?
28-1.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah, you might want to take a flyer on that one. Make some money. Okay, and then this one, obviously, for Jalen Hurts coming back to the Super Bowl. This is his bread and butter here. Will there be an octopus? That is very important in this in this game.
I wish I was an octopus. A f***ing octopus. 8 loving arms and all those suckers. Know what I mean?
Well, in 2022, there was.
There was. He scored it. An octopus is if the same player scores a touchdown and then the 2-point conversion back to back. That is an octopus.
I will say this: there's always a good possibility with Hurts. I hope that there isn't, because it means that we're playing catch up.
Yeah, good point.
But I feel like the odds are going to be good on that one.
If you believe it, it is 14-1 odds on the octopus.
I wish I was an octopus. A f***ing octopus. 8 loving arms and all those suckers. Know what I mean?
Doesn't that seem like a little bit of long odds for the Eagles?
I think it's very tough because the person has to be the person. Whoever scores the touchdown also has to be the one to score the 2-point conversion, and you're 2 yards out, so it's usually not a tush push.
I guess.
So it's very difficult to really nail down who's going to get the octopus. Maybe Saquon. Maybe really like if you do.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah.
Wait.
Boom.
Was it Hurts or just anybody?
No, it has to be the person, and
No,
Jalen
but-
Hurts did it.
No, but I mean for the bet wording.
Yeah.
Do they say Hurts?
No, anybody.
Anybody?
But it has to be the same person.
See, because the Eagles, you're right. You could have Saquon do it or Hurts do it.
Yeah, Saquon might be able to pull it off. I think Saquon could do it.
So I still think that the odds are a little long, but that's okay.
Okay. How about long on field goal kicking? Will there be a field goal doink? This is now an official term. Doink refers to a field goal kick that hits the goalpost 1 or more times during the Super Bowl.
Oh man, if Elliott has to kick more than twice, yes.
Yes, it's 5-1.
Okay.
So you may want to place a couple bucks on that one.
Is it better if Jake Elliott doinks it or misses completely?
Well, if doinks, because then you make money.
All right.
So there you go. Make sure it's a doink.
Make sure it's a doink.
All right, and here's one that is part of Super Bowl history since it happened. Will there be a power outage on Super Bowl Sunday? The key on this, the NFL and Caesars Superdome must release an official statement that there was a power outage.
What? Okay. What happens if there's like a power outage for like 15 seconds, but they don't? So I don't like that. That's bull. I would not place a bet on that because there could very clearly be a power outage for like 30 seconds, but because the NFL does it real quick, make a press release. The NFL is proud to announce that we have a blackout during like no.
If you do bet, it's 8-1.
I don't like that bet. They have to release a statement that there was a power outage?
Yep. Okay, now let's get into some more personal props here. Because, as we all know, there is a certain someone that is going to be attending this game.
Who? Well, all the Eagles are there, right? Nick Sirianni, the coach. Jalen Hurts, the quarterback.
Yep.
Oh, the Chiefs are going to be there as well.
Yep.
Andy Reid,
Yep.
Travis Kelce. Who else is going to be there? Oh, Bradley Cooper is probably going to be there.
Very good,
yeah.
yes.
I can't think of anybody.
Well, Jason Kelce will be there.
Oh, he will be, yeah.
Yeah. So, which team will Jason Kelce have on for Super Bowl Sunday? The description is Jason Kelce must be shown on broadcast on ESPN, NFL, or one of his official social media accounts. Bets are void if Jason Kelce is not shown publicly or does not appear at the Super Bowl, which I doubt. Eagles are favored.
Oh, yeah.
So
that makes sense.
He's not going to root for his brother? You don't think he would? You don't think there's a chance?
I heard on the new a clip from the New Heights podcast that says that he will be rooting for the Eagles.
Wow, my man.
So I'm pretty sure he's going to be... No, but I also heard him say very specifically he's going to be wearing a New Heights shirt. Is that insider trading? If we place a bet,
right?
is that insider trading?
Yeah, did we just figure out the outcome of this bet already? Should we place money on this?
We absolutely should.
Wow. The odds that were listed, Eagles are the favorite. No jersey or team logo.
That's the one.
Is even money. Kansas City at 4-1. So they really don't think he's going to wear Kansas City items.
So you said, what was the middle one? No
jersey or team logo.
What if he does a split jersey like Mama Kelsey?
Oh, I don't know.
But that's not in there at all.
That's not in there. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Vegas.
I'm just finding plot holes and loopholes left and right.
Yep. All right. Well, my Jason Kelce thing was a deliberate.
What? Is that a red herring?
Yeah, it was a deliberate red herring because
No.
the person I was referring to was Taylor Swift.
Oh, my goodness.
But there is a head-to-head matchup. Which Travis Kelce star will be seen more during the game's broadcast? Taylor Swift is favored or Jason Kelce at 4-1?
It's obviously going to be Taylor Swift. Nobody's going to be focusing on Jason Kelce all that much when Taylor Swift is in attendance.
Maybe if he jumps from the club booth that he's in and he takes off
yeah.
his shirt and he goes crazy.
Okay, so, right, if Jason Kelce does something crazy, which there's a high probability because he's not playing.
There's always a chance.
There's always a chance. It could be him.
Always a chance.
The first time Taylor Swift was at the Super Bowl, they didn't show her all that much, though, either. They were pretty focused on the game, I seem to recall. So, wait, what are the odds here?
Jason Kelce, 4-1. Taylor Swift, you have to lay money. So,
Yeah.
I
think it's going to be Taylor Swift.
Okay. Here's one that is propped up by Taylor Swift. It's called the I Don't Know About You, but I'm Feeling Like 22 special. Will Travis Kelce record 22 receiving yards in each half? That's even money.
So a minimum of 22, not 22 exactly.
22 or more.
Okay, 22. I was going to say, does he have to stop? He gets like 21 yards. He's like, I can only get one more yard? Okay.
No, 22 or more.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely.
Okay, that's even money.
Tight ends and Philadelphia Eagles defense? Come on. Come on. It's like peanut butter and jelly.
All right. Up next. Let's get to the... Let's get to Kendrick Lamar. This is when I feel old. I don't know who Kendrick Lamar is. I'm sorry. I don't know.
He's a musician.
Yeah. Will he wear a hoodie? I don't know. Is this important? I don't know. But apparently you can bet on whether or not he will wear a hoodie, and it's
Is that
even
a
money.
thing?
Apparently half and half. Sometimes he wears a hoodie, sometimes he doesn't.
Is that like a signature fashion thing for him? Is a hoodie?
I guess.
I'm gonna say he does because I feel like the one year that Eminem went out there, he was wearing a hoodie. I feel like musicians wear hoodies sometimes. I don't know.
Will Taylor Swift appear on stage with Kendrick Lamar during halftime?
No, she didn't the other time. She's not going to this time.
Well, it's 10-1 if she does. So, a little interesting
I think
there.
it would be cool, but think of it this way. If she's watching the game and she's having a hot dog, having a beer, cheering on Travis Kelce, like, she's not going to run down there at halftime to get all...
Hold my beer.
Literally, hold my beer, gets all dolled up, puts on some sequin thing, and then, like, sings, and then, like, what, sprints back to the booth? Like,
Yeah.
no, that's not going to happen.
Taylor Swift, hold my beer.
Yeah, right.
Hold my Cosmo.
She comes out with, like, she's eating a wing.
Yeah. More Taylor Swift stuff. Will the Super Bowl MVP mention Taylor Swift in attendance? Now, that's important because it could be anything.
Well,
That could be just like,
I don't think there's any reason for Jalen Hurts to mention Taylor Swift.
I mean,
So-
I don't know. You could just be like, hey, how you doing over there?
No.
Or something.
No, it's not going to happen.
No? Okay. Well, it's 6-1 if the Super Bowl MVP does mention Taylor Swift.
That's a BS thing because that odd is expecting the Chiefs to win.
Okay.
No, think of it. Think about it. What reason would, like, take anybody on the Eagles team or staff, what reason would they have to mention Taylor Swift?
Taylor Swift sucks. We did
They
it.
just got up there. You just won the Super Bowl. Taylor Swift sucks.
We
hate
did
her.
it.
That's not going to happen.
That would be funny.
That's not going to happen.
It would win the bet, though.
It would win the bet.
All right. And, of course, I believe you've heard of this one, the Hollywood ending bet.
Yes. The
Will
answer is
Travis
yes.
Kelce propose to Taylor Swift post-Super Bowl?
Only-
Proposal must be shown on the field after the game.
Only if they win. If they don't, Taylor Swift breaks up with him. And it's a reverse Hollywood ending.
Well, it's 8-1 if you want to bet that will happen on the broadcast. That must be shown on the field after the game.
That would be absolutely wild.
Yeah.
I think the collective world would just melt down. Like, sports fans would be enraged. Taylor Swift fans would be elated. Non-sports or Taylor Swift fans would be completely and utterly confused. And everything is just thrown into utter chaos.
And Philadelphia burns to the ground.
One way or another, the city's burning.
Yeah. All right, here's another one of our classic favorites right here, the Gatorade.
Of course.
What will be the color of the Gatorade poured on the winning head coach be? Bets are void if there is no Gatorade shower, which did happen when the Patriots came back in overtime and won that Super Bowl. So
Yeah.
remember, that does happen, that there is no Gatorade pour.
Right.
I find this interesting, though. The favorite is purple this year. I
Weird.
feel like this is the first time purple has ever been favored.
That's weird. Yeah. Do both these teams favor purple Gatorade? I'm trying to remember what it was for the NFC Championship game with the Eagles.
Also, like, in order to get information for this, like, do sports bookies, like, interview, like, the equipment people and, like, hey, what Gatorade are you packing?
Are they going straight to, like, Gatorade distribution, be like, hey, how many gallons of whatever are you shipping to New Orleans right
Yeah,
now?
right.
Like, how do they figure that out?
So,
They just picked
purple,
that out of a hat. Purple?
purple is favored at 2-1.
Okay.
Yellow, lime, or green is next at 5-2 odds. Orange is next at 5-1. Blue 6-1. Red or pink at 7-1.
Wait,
and,
there's a pink Gatorade?
Yeah, I guess there is. And then water or clear at 10-1.
They don't have an option for Coca-Cola. That would be crazy. No, it's going to be, what was it, lime, green, or yellow? It's going to be that one. I don't see it being purple. That's so random.
I mean, I don't know. Do the players really love purple drink?
Maybe they, like, polled the players and everyone's like, we love purple.
Yeah,
But
right.
I think it's going to be the second one. Lime, green, whatever. Yellow,
right.
yeah.
Okay, so there you go. That is all of my prop bets except for the weirdest one I found. All
Is
right.
this like the alien one?
Close. Yeah, I was trying to think of something in that vein, you know? Like, I
Right.
want to try and find something that is really out of left field.
Okay.
That is actually something you can put money on, you know?
Right.
Right? And last year, you're right. Last year, I found one that was you could bet on an alien invasion
Yeah.
hitting the Super Bowl,
That
which
was fun times.
that got to me. I'd never seen anything like that before. I did find something close.
Okay.
Not as memorable as Aliens, but this is pretty out of left field. And I don't know how this would happen. I don't know how the players would have to get this prepared ahead of time. I don't know. Here it is. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
You can bet on this. Will Andy Reid somehow get barbecue sauce spilled on him during the game?
This cannot be made good. It's shameful. It's a shameful, shameful day.
Is my man Big Red just chomping down on ribs in one? Hold on, one. There's so many things wrong with this. One, New Orleans is not known for their barbecue.
Yes.
There's not a lot of barbecue. So that means that barbecue was brought to the stadium.
Yes.
Okay, two, this is assuming that one, either Big Red is chowing down on some brisket or ribs on the sideline.
Yeah.
Or two, that fans are hurling
Barbecue sauce packets.
fans or players are hurling barbecue sauce at the Chiefs sideline.
Or option number 3, instead of the Gatorade toss,
It's a barbecue bath.
yes, a barbecue sauce bath for winning 3 Super Bowls in a row.
That is I imagine would be a very heavy thing of. Like, could you imagine how heavy that would be?
Yeah, that's a
'Cause
lot.
It's like thick, right? It's like thicker than
Yeah.
water, you know?
Yeah, that is a
feel
thick
that's-
sauce.
And then it doesn't come out, it doesn't flow out. You have to like, it like slowly pours out on him.
Yes. So
You know?
there you go.
That's silly.
That
That's
is the
silly.
weirdest bet that I found.
Does
you
he
can
just
actually
show up to the game like he was eating beforehand? He just wiped his hands on his jacket.
Oh, and they're wearing white jerseys too. That
Oh,
really
no,
shows
that's
up.
really gonna show.
That's really going to
yeah.
show up on the broadcast.
You got to check those Chiefs gloves to see if they've got extra stickum on them. You know, the
Yeah.
barbecue sauce to help catch the ball.
Anyway, yes, the odds on that are 16-1. So yes, he might.
You can make that 200,000 to 1. It's not going to happen.
No, that's ridiculous. That is absolutely
That's insane.
ridiculous.
That's less likely than the aliens because aliens are real. What they are? What?
You would rather bet on the aliens than the barbecue
Yeah,
sauce?
100%.
Interesting.
Are you telling me there's billions of stars out there and each star has at least one planet to it? You're telling me that in our solar system there's a 1 in 8 chance of life, but in all the other stars there's exactly 0? That's math, dude. Come on.
But which other solar systems have barbecue sauce? I'm sorry. We're the kings.
It's not the question of aliens that keeps me up at night. It's the question of whether aliens have barbecue sauce.
Yes.
That keeps me up at night, personally. I just lay awake staring at the ceiling and go, but do they have ribs?
Right. That's life-affirming questions you need
It really
to have
is.
answered.
It really is.
All right. So there you go. That is my wacky Super Bowl prop bets that you can actually place money on. Yeah, those are all legitimate. People are placing bets on those issues.
I wonder how much money's been spent on the barbecue one. Like, that's absolutely...
That's ridiculous.
That's bonkers.
Yeah. All right. But without further ado, should we get into our official predictions? This is it. It is go time. It is officially time for Super Bowl 59 predictions. Mike, here we go. Lay it for me, baby.
In Super Bowl 59, we have the first seeded AFC champs, the Kansas City Chiefs, versus our very own hometown Philadelphia Eagles. Sunday, February 9th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time in New Orleans. Rich, what do you got?
Okay, I'm going to go over 3 different things.
Oh, man, you came way more prepared than me.
Yes, I did. Because I've been looking at this. I've been going back and forth on this outcome and trying to see what I think is probably the best plays to do in this game. Number 1, I think time of possession is going to be huge in this game.
Yeah.
The Eagles are going to want to run the ball and use Saquon. Chiefs are going to try and stop him, of course, and also try and use Patrick Mahomes to control the ball on their end. Basically, how do you shut down each other's explosive offenses? You keep them off the field. Yep. That is a big way to reduce their impact if you're worried about that. Therefore, I am going to go with the fact that I think this game's going to go under. I don't think there's going to be a lot of flashy plays, crazy things happening. I think this is going to be a very intensive, control the ball clock kind of, control the clock, control the ball kind of a game. Because that's how you neutralize the other offense. Don't let them get on the field.
Yeah.
The total points on this is around 47-48. Yeah, I think it goes under. I think that is one of the best plays you can make for this game. And last year's Super Bowl was also strikingly a defensive game. Even as it went into overtime, it was still a relatively low-scoring game. So it's not unheard of that. Oh, and not to mention we had the one Super Bowl that was 13-3 that everybody forgot. Remember that?
Yes.
Everyone forgot about that. So low-scoring Super Bowl games can happen. And I think this is going to end up being one of them. So I'm going to go with that as one of my picks. On the Eagles side, boy, man, it really just seems like you go through the offensive weapons, right? Saquon, Jalen, A.J. Brown. Who gets lost in the shuffle?
Devontae Smith.
Yeah, right? Like, if he was on any other team, he would be the star wide receiver.
Yeah.
On this team, he's getting forgotten.
Which is crazy because he's a number one.
Right. And he's had success against the Chiefs defense.
Oh, yeah.
The last two games that they've met up. I'm going to take the over on his receiving yards. Sneak little prop bet there for you.
Okay.
With all that being said, the actual prediction.
I will leave this podcast.
I am cautiously optimistic.
Oh, okay.
I'm cautiously optimistic. I do have a feeling there's going to be like a weird missed point after or something like that throws like the score in like not the traditional numbers.
Yeah.
With the point total under, I'm going to go Eagles win 22-20.
Oof. That's a tight,
That's going to be a tight game.
Yeah, you came way more prepared than me. Because I'll be honest, I said earlier that I've been oscillating between excitement and dread. Not dread because, I think the Eagles are going to do anything notoriously bad, but just because this is it. This is the final stop. This is
pull out all the trick plays you got. Pull out everything.
This is it. And that being said, I think that the Eagles are in a fantastic spot. They never had to let off the gas. Kansas City had their bye week. They rested up, but the Eagles kept rolling and kept getting better. I know it's hard to imagine, but not having the time off. But I think there is something to be said about continuing to play those games and staying in go mode. Right now, both teams had a week off here, and everybody's like, when Andy Reid has a bye week, he comes super prepared. But the Eagles have proved that they are no slouches in that department either. When all else fails, you hand it off to the best rushing attack in the leagues between Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts. On top of that, you want to talk about clock control? Let's talk about the best defense in the league as well. Number one overall. The 2022 team was good, but they were in a situation where they could not play their style of defense. That should be corrected here. Not only is it getting corrected, but it's getting improved upon with the possible return of star defensive end Brandon Graham.
That's huge coming back, yeah.
Even if he just plays 20% of the snaps, you're talking a rotational piece to let those young guys get a breather so that they can be ready to go, high energy, late in the game, fourth quarter when it really matters. And again, the Eagles they're conditioned. They have not stopped playing for a very long time. So yes, they're tired, but this team has made its money on being angrier, tougher, more violent than every other team that they've come up across. I mean, the turnover battle, they've won I don't know how many weeks in a row. Just killing it in that department. Offense, slow and steady. Jalen Hurts is not a traditional quarterback. He's more than content to hand the ball off, whereas I feel like it seemed like the Kansas City Chiefs, especially coached by one like Andy Reid, they're going to force the ball into the air, into our dangerous secondary. That increases the likelihood of mistakes happening, right? So I am cautiously optimistic for the Eagles as well. I don't know that it's going to necessarily be that low scoring of a game. I think at some point, you know, this is like the classic thing when you see two defensive teams, and the Chiefs this year are a more defensive team than they are an offensive team. It kind of like goes almost in reverse. And I think that you're looking at one key defensive stop to seal the game. So I don't know I'm going to go as low as in the 20s. I'm thinking something more like 31-27 Eagles.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a little bit higher scoring, but not like, you know, not like 55 points against the Commanders.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be a little bit more modest, but I think there is going to be a little bit of scoring.
I will say this game, I think, is going to come down to Jalen Hurts. If
Jalen Hurts plays his ball the way that he's been playing it, we will be okay.
Right. I feel like Saquon is going to have his first, I don't want to say bad game, but his first.
Not going to happen.
No, I don't. If I'm the Chiefs, I am loading up the box. I am not letting Saquon run over me.
Doesn't matter. The Eagles have played good defenses this year in the Steelers, in the Ravens, in the Commanders, in the Packers. Every single team we've played has had a good defense. They're going to stop Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley could have annihilated Eric Dickerson's record if he didn't leave games in the third quarter. Like, to put that in perspective, he was, 100 yards short of the record?
Yeah.
And he, in the first Giants game, he's like, that's cool, I'm going home at halftime. In the Rams game, he's like, whatever, third quarter, he's like, I'm gonna grab a corn dog. You guys got it from here.
I'm going to go to the stands and we get Andy Reid a barbecue pork sandwich.
Right, that's how the barbecue sauce ends up on. The point I'm making is that teams are like, we're going to stop Saquon. And nobody has been able to do it. If they find a way to stop Saquon, it will be a first, and it will also allow AJ and Devontae and Dallas Goedert and Jalen Hurts scrambling to take over. You can't cover it all. You can't. The offense is built.
Well, that's why I think Devontae Smith is going to be a key. I think he's going to have a big game in this.
You bring a safety up. Do you know where that ball is going? Because that means those guys are one-on-one on the outside. Who do you double?
Here we go. I'm telling you, I think Devontae's going to... I have a feeling. This is...
I am so worried having voiced those opinions. I feel like I've doomed us. But it's okay. I have a foolproof plan. I'm going to be eating wings, and I'm not going to be wearing any Eagles paraphernalia, which has served me well since week 4 of the regular season.
All right, so there you go. Mike's got all of his superstitions locked up and everything ready to go.
Are you superstitious?
Oh, yeah.
What did you do for the NFC Championship game? You have to mimic that. Because
I wore my Jason Kelce jersey, so I'm going to wear that.
You got to wear that. Yep. I had wings for every playoff game. For some reason,
that's a big one.
In the wild card game, I was like, I want wings, and then the next week I was like, I still want wings.
Yeah,
and then
it's football, yeah.
But then for the NFC Championship game, I was going over Jordan's parents' house, and I was like, are they going to have food? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, well, I got to bring wings. And I did, and they crushed it. So luckily, I'm going to be having wings again.
Yeah.
And I have not worn an Eagles jersey since week 4. 2 of their 3 losses came when I was wearing Eagles jerseys.
All right, so don't do it.
No, I'm not. I'm going to show up in like Kansas City gear, just to be on the safe side. No,
yeah, don't do that. Just wear regular clothes.
Just wear regular stuff. Yeah.
There you go. Oh my gosh, we are looking forward to the Super Bowl. We have our predictions there. We're rooting for the Eagles.
And next week,
I'm cautiously optimistic. Yeah.
Yeah.
This could be the one.
I'm cautiously optimistic, but I'm freaking out as well.
Yep, we shall see. But there you go. That is all that's fit to print in the Sports Sampler. So we're going to take a break, but we're still going to hit you with some entertainment news and the non-fortune cookie odd news when we come back from the break. This is the Crispy Noodle Podcast. We'll be right back.
Ready for the weekend? Happy Friday. Hi, my name's Marie, and I'm an artist who's been making Happy Friday doodles every week for over 7 years. And now you can own my art collection in this Volume 1 and Volume 2 art series. These doodles span across multiple themes, yearly festivities, various countries, languages, and more. Both coffee table books have something for everyone and are the perfect conversation starter or gift for a friend. Really, anyone who enjoys a good weekend. Available on Amazon, Ingram, BookBaby, Barnes & Noble, and more. Visit happyfridaydoodles.com/books and get your copies today. Let's celebrate the best day of the week. Happy Friday.
Just a moment, you just assured me that I could speak.
Sit down inside the car. We're not assuring anything. We're under arrest.
Look, I'm under what?
Come on.
Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest. Have a look at the headlock here. See that chap over there? Get your hand off my penis! This is the bloke who got me on the penis before.
Get some cups.
Why did you do this to me?
Hop in the car. Get some cups.
For what reason? What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal? Oh, that's a nice headlock, sir. Oh, yes. I see that you know your judo well. Good one. And you, sir, are you waiting to receive my limp penis? Now, get your hands off me.
No, we've only got one cup.
Ta-ta and farewell.
That's all right. Just get him in the car.
One cup, look. They even broke.
Oh, yeah, we're back here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast. It is Super Bowl weekend. I'm glad that the prop bets got to cover a little bit of the entertainment there between Taylor Swift and Kendrick Lamar. I got to admit, I really have no idea what Kendrick Lamar does.
He's a rapper, but I literally don't know anything else other than
that. I feel old. I've crossed the Rubicon. I don't know what's happening.
Cross the Rubicon. You're right. You are old. What are you even saying? Sometimes you talk and I'm like, what is he talking about?
Yep, I'm officially gone. I don't know. I'm gonna use the halftime to go get food and maybe walk Penny. I don't know. I guess that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah,
because I don't know what the hell he does. I'm sorry.
I'm
no longer hip with the rap music.
I haven't been interested in a halftime show in a long time because one, I don't know a lot of the musicians, and two, they're honestly just not that good.
I mean, we think they're not that good, but
do other people like them? The audio is always weird. Like
people must because this is who they are trusting with their mega halftime show. Yeah. So all right, well, maybe we should get to the entertainment things that we do know about in the entertainment entree.
And now, the latest in movies.
The Simpson guy writes to movies. Dear Die Hard, you rock. Especially when that guy was on the roof.
Music.
I know what that is. That's music.
Video games.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
Celebrities.
You really know Warren Beatty? Yes, I do. I took a leak next to him once at the Golden Globes.
And more.
You were the all-singing, all-dancing crap of the world.
This is the entertainment entree.
All right, we are officially in entertainment entree territory, and we're going to kick it off with the segment where Mike is going to let you know what you should keep an eye out for this upcoming weekend with new properties in Mike's This Week in Entertainment. All right, Mikey, what do you got for the people?
All right, well, obviously, this week, it's all about the Super Bowl. But if you find some time to check out other entertainment properties, there is one movie you should keep an eye out for. That's I'm Still Here, which is getting a very limited theatrical release this week after receiving 3 Academy Award nominations for Best Picture, Best Actress, and Best International Feature. If you're in this area, Ambler is showing it at their little theater, so you have an opportunity to check it out there. But the gist of the film is this is a political biographical drama that follows a woman on a lonely quest to discover the truth behind the forced disappearance of her political dissident husband while trying to keep her family together. So it's got a little bit of political intrigue, a little bit of drama, a little bit of family tension. And it kind of tells this woman's story through, I think it's like a couple decades as she tries to figure out the events around the forced disappearance of her husband. It has an incredible 96% on Rotten Tomatoes with an average score of 8.2 out of 10. So it's pretty good for a Portuguese film making its way to the U.S.
Wow.
Yeah, so go check out I'm Still Here. Again, that is one of the Best Picture nominated films. So definitely something to keep an eye on if you're interested in the award stuff. But that's what we're looking forward to this week in entertainment.
All right, Mikey, thank you for that segment this week in entertainment. Time for some trailer talk because we have finally gotten the first look at the new Fantastic Four movie, subtitled First Steps.
Yep.
Interesting subtitle. I don't know.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not sure why it's subtitled that, but the trailer did drop earlier this week, and I thought it was a pretty fun trailer. You got to see all of the, main characters doing their thing.
Did you like the 60s, 70s?
Yeah,
I think 60s. 60s.
Yeah, 60s. Yeah, they're calling it a retro-futuristic 1960s inspired Earth. And
it reminds me of like the Jetsons or something.
Yeah, like the Jetsons and like old, the heyday of superheroes, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of got that vibe of old school classic superheroes and something like the Jetsons. But what stuck out to me with the setting and timeline is that this is, in my interpretation, potentially not the same Earth as in the MCU that we know, right?
Right.
Because it's either set in the 60s, but I don't think that's the case because it's called retro-futuristic. So is this like something different? Is this in the same timeline? I don't know. So it'll be interesting how that comes into play, if at all. It might just be that is what the MCU looked like in the 60s. But the fact that they're specifically calling it retro-futuristic, to me, makes me think, and they say 60s inspired, not 1960s New York, 60s inspired retro-futurism.
Maybe it's just just a different universe altogether.
Might be a different universe, which kind of plays into what Marvel's been doing the past 10 years, something stupid like that.
Whenever this
the
whole
multiverse saga. I can't wait for the multiversal saga to end, but that's a whole other thing. The other thing that I noted in the trailer is that we saw everybody's abilities, all the Fantastic Four's abilities, except for Mr. Fantastic. We didn't see the stretching. I don't know why they're keeping that under wraps. If they're intentionally keeping it under wraps.
Maybe they just assume everybody knows that he's got the stretching at this point because they've done how many of these movies?
Is the third time they're rebooting? No, the second time they're rebooting the Fantastic Four.
No.
Yes.
They've done it 3 or 4 times. It's got to be 3.
Well, they did the original one with, what's his name? Chris Evans, right? Then they rebooted it in 2015.
Right. So
which nobody watched. So this is the third variation of...
Third variation, okay.
At least 3. I don't know if maybe like decades before us there was another one, but this is at least the third in our lifetime.
Yeah. It just seems like this is one they keep going to the printing press on. Just like, here's a new one, here's a new one, here's a new one.
Well, it's that they can't find a group that sticks.
Yeah.
Like those early Fox ones were like fine. The 2015 one, I literally don't remember a thing about it. Other than that there was a Fantastic Four movie in the mid-20 teens, and that is the only thing I know about it.
Yep, and nobody watched it.
and nobody watched it. So hopefully under Marvel, we will see some success for the Fantastic Four. But I just thought it was interesting that Mr. Fantastic didn't get his moment with his abilities in the trailer. Maybe they're saving that for some reason. Like, oh, this is the big reveal. He can stretch. Maybe he's like, oh, I'm bummed I didn't get powers. Then, at the ultimate fight, he's like, no, and he reaches his arm and it stretches. I don't know why they'd keep it under wraps. Maybe it was just like an oversight. But it seems weird they would talk about all of their differences and then like he's conspicuously absent.
Yeah.
One thing that was not conspicuously absent though, Galactus.
Yeah.
I'm excited. See, this is where I wanted the MCU to go after Thanos. In my mind, I'm like, what's bigger than Thanos? I'm like, Galactus.
Yep.
Yeah. So for people who don't know, Galactus is he is a cosmic entity known as the World Devourer. So he comes and he eats worlds. Talking intergalactic level threat, something that you would need a huge team of superheroes to fight. I think it's weird that he's in this film. I think it'll just be a cameo, a precursor of things to come. Because to make the main villain Galactus in your first off, I mean, that, like, it just, like, the power level doesn't make sense to me, right? Superheroes always start off with, like Batman starts off with Scarecrow before he gets to the Joker.
It's literally called first steps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first step can't be like, oh, we just casually took down a cosmic entity that's known for eating worlds.
Right.
Maybe they stop him. Maybe they delay him. I would love it if it was something more nuanced, like their world is actually destroyed. They lose. Like, that's a good first step for a hero, right?
Yeah, actually, that'd be
Every
interesting.
hero has to fail before they reach...
How about that? How about Galactus comes and just Fs everything up? And that's why it's in an alternate universe, and the Fantastic Four need to go find the Avengers or something.
See, and that's where we're on the same wavelength here, because that
would be interesting.
Like, literally, that plot gives me chills, because that would be something creative that we haven't seen from the MCU. It's just like the heroes get absolutely trounced. Like,
Yeah.
I would love to see that. Like, I'm tired of seeing heroes win. The last time we got that was the snap in Avengers Infinity War.
Right. Right.
I want to see the heroes lose. I think it's fun. I think it keeps things interesting. I think it keeps things dynamic. That's not going to happen. They're going to fight Galactus and they're going to win. It's going to be mildly disappointing.
Oh no! If they do, I don't know. If they do that, that's really kind of sad for Galactus.
This is 2025 Marvel. Come on. Come on. This isn't 2012, 2013 Marvel. This is 2025 Marvel. They're going to take the safe path. They're done experimenting with heroes we don't know about. They got the Fox universe. They got Spider-Man locked down for another 3 movies. It's going to be safe sailing for the foreseeable future. I disagree, but that's where I think they're going to end up going with it. I would love to see Galactus just come and be like, your world is mine, and just swallow the whole freaking thing. And then they're like, well, crap.
Yeah.
what are we going to do now? Like that.
We gotta go.
That would be cool. That would be cool. I would like to see that. It will probably either be a cameo or they will just outright beat him.
No, I don't like that. No, if they outright beat Galactus, that's not good.
That would be ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
That would be ridiculous.
That's not a good first step.
That's not. I mean,
it's a really big first step.
It's really big. I mean, like, it's good for them as heroes. Like, that's great. That's fantastic. But I think that's also boring because it's like
I don't know why. I love the way you say it.
Right?
Oh,
that's
fantastic. Oh, yes.
I'm really hamming it up. But yeah, I mean, overall, I'm excited to see the Fox properties come into the MCU in a more proper way. We got the first glimpse of that with Deadpool 3. They made a whole big show of it, like, we're in the MCU. They broke a lot of fourth walls. That prepped us, that primed us for bringing in these properties. This is the first, quote-unquote, serious integration, because Deadpool uses the fourth wall to, like, make it happen and make it work. They'll require a little bit more narrative effort to fold these guys in.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes, but I'm excited. I'm always excited for a new MCU film, and especially something that we don't know anything about. really. You know?
Yeah.
Bring in a Fox property.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see how they try and do Fantastic Four right. Because it just seems like anytime they've released a Fantastic Four movie, it hasn't been up to snuff.
Yeah. Fantastic Four is weird. Like, I feel like it's a hero group that people haven't been interested in a very long time.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes the sell so difficult.
I agree.
Yeah. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yep. All right, so there you go. We'll have to cut it short there because we still got to get to our third and final portion of the Crispy Noodle podcast, and that is the non-fortune cookie odd news.
We've been talking about cool and its ramifications and how it applies to the hip scene. But maybe you could give us some examples now of the opposite of cool, uncool. Just exactly what is uncool?
My nipples look like milk duds.
Holy shnikes.
It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
It's not of this world. I don't know exactly what it is or what it's doing, but this is not human intelligence, okay? It's not human intelligence we're facing!
How you doing? Me? I'm doing great.
I don't make this stuff up.
I'll take a pound of nuts.
That's a lot of nuts! That'll be $4, baby! You want fries with that?
I seen the celery dance across the baseball fields.
You had me at Meat Tornado.
No, go past this. Past this part. In fact, never play this again.
Okay. What does that mean?
And now it's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
So sit back, get everything you need to get from the kitchen. Be sure and empty the bladders. Go to the bathroom because you're in for a hell of a ride.
Odd news.
That's right, everyone. It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news. Here in this segment, Rich researches the news, he reads the news, and I react to the news. He finds a weird and wacky story and keeps it hidden from me, which ensures that all of my reactions are my genuine gut reactions to hearing this story for the very first time. I don't know what's about to happen. You guys don't know what's about to happen. And even Rich doesn't know what's about to happen because these stories always take us down wacky and wild paths. And I'm ready to get started. Are we heading to Florida by any chance?
Yes.
Now, who is this guy in Florida?
It's Florida, and they're crazy.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Going to Port St. Lucie, Florida.
Okay.
And in honor of the Super Bowl, we're going to a Wingstop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you go. This is a good omen.
It's a good omen. Wings.
Wings are in the non-fortune cookie odd news.
That's good stuff right there.
Right? There we go.
Is Wingstop good?
I don't know.
I've never been.
Yeah,
but I hear people talk about it like it is good.
I feel like they're like a chain that's more, middle and south of the country. I feel like we don't really do we have a Wingstop?
Yes, I don't know where.
Yeah, I don't know where.
I'm pretty sure there's one in East Norton.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Really?
Don't quote me on that.
I am quoting you on that.
Oh no.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think.
I think there's better chicken options around.
Maybe that's why. Yeah, you kind of know where to get your wings properly.
Yeah, like pretty much in this region, there's so many sandwich and pizza places that also do wings, and there's also chicken specific places. Like why go to H-E? But that's neither here nor there. This story is about Wingstop, so let's hear about it.
Yep. So yes, this takes place at Wingstop at Port St. Lucie, Florida. Apparently, two customers were, quote, loud and disruptive and were causing a disturbance.
Okay.
Apparently, they did not get the correct number of wings that they had ordered.
That happens sometimes.
How dare you?
That's very sad.
This cannot be made good. It's shameful. It's a shameful, shameful day.
I ordered 24 wings. 23 wings.
So, did they get their basket of wings in like 1?
Yeah, did they do a count? Yeah.
3, 4. Hey, wait a second.
You're jipping me.
I said 24, not 23. I mean, like.
I said 29, and you gave me 24.
But what's one wing?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't say how much they were off by. I don't know. It could be one. It could be many.
Okay, so what is the margin of error you're willing to accept? No, this is important. You really want wings? You place an order. What's your standard wing order?
Oh, I do a dozen at least.
Do a dozen
minimum.
Yeah, okay.
If I'm hungry, oh yeah.
So what's your?
I could do 20 if I really like. Yeah.
Listen,
I can scare people with how much I can eat at once. My thing is I don't eat fast. That's why I can never do an eating competition.
Oh yeah, no, you don't.
I love to enjoy the food.
You like to savor your food. You do.
Yeah. I could never eat fast.
I am a vacuum cleaner. On the other hand, I just when I do Buffalo Wild Wings, some B-dubs.
B-dubs.
I'm so stupid. I usually get 30, and I do bone in because I used to like tenders, but now I'm moving away from that. I like actually eating it off the bone. You know. So I'd usually do 30, and I usually split it with Jordan. So we usually do, thereabouts.
Okay.
We usually have some leftovers. So the point is, though, what's your margin of error? Like, if I order 30 for me and Jordan, and I'm getting, I think it'd have to be, close to 25. Like, if you're off by more, like a handful.
2! How dare you?
You said that so aggressively.
Yeah, how dare you? I ordered wings. I want that wing.
So you order 12 and you get 10.
I'm flipping stuff over.
So by that logic, though, if you order 24, is the margin of error 4?
No, it's 22.
It's 22. So 2 no matter the order.
I'm feeling 22 wings.
Whoa, there you Taylor
go.
Swift fan over here.
Yeah, I did it. Take that.
You did it, yeah.
You bitch. I don't know.
So aggressive. I said 24, not 22, you bitch.
Yeah, take that.
Okay, then.
Yes.
Yes, I think my margin of error is I'll say 3 or 4.
Yeah. It does not say in the police report what it was, but for these 2 customers, it was enough.
It was enough to be pissed.
Yep. So they got into an argument. They were loud and disruptive, caused a disturbance. At one point, one of the 2 decided to push a container of straws off the counter. Ooh, we got a badass over here.
That's so. Okay. Take that. And I'm going to rip out your napkins, too.
Yeah. Boy, you're going to waste so much time picking up those straws.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, boy.
I mean, that would be time consuming.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
That's kind of very, mild, no? And childish.
Yep.
I'm going to make a mess. Ooh.
But this is the odd news.
So it doesn't stop there.
So
who took their pants off first?
We're not going down that avenue. But one stupid action requires a stupid reaction.
Oh, no.
And we're going to go back and forth.
Oh, okay. Oh, so the staff is getting in on the stupidity.
Yep.
I like this now.
So first the straws got thrown.
Right. Well, first the order was messed up.
Oh, yeah, the order was messed up first.
So strike 1.
Right.
Okay.
Then the 2 customers were loud and disruptive, caused a disturbance.
Okay.
Then one of them pushed the container of straws off the counter. Take that.
Right.
Because you done goofed.
Then cops...
That's what the staff said. They're like, you done goofed.
Yep. Then cops say that one of their employees named Irene went into the back and started throwing ranch dressing at the victims. So now we're going to pelt you with ranch dressing.
So the little plastic cups.
Yes.
Start winging them.
Take that, you bastards.
I think blue cheese would have been more effective because it's
just chucking them.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I think blue cheese would have been more effective because it's stinky. You know, it might be more offensive to their senses.
Because you done goofed.
So Irene, you don't want to mess with Irene.
Yeah, she's
I
the
feel
one.
Like I don't know any Irenes that I can think of, but I feel like I wouldn't mess with somebody named Irene.
Well, yeah, this lady doesn't take crap.
So she's just winging.
So she's going with the ranch dressing.
She's winging ranch cups. And then, so these people now are all of a sudden, they're under assault.
Yes.
So I assume there's another reaction.
Yes.
Equal and opposite.
Yep. One of the 2 customers then threw one of the poles that they put in the waiting area, like when you're forming the line, when you're forming the queue.
One of the queue.
One of the queue poles. Yes.
Oh, those are heavy.
Well, they chucked that.
Okay. Yikes. This is getting wild.
Yeah, just like that. Just
grabbing anything that's not nailed down.
Actual audio. Yeah, this is
Right.
happening. Okay, all right. So now we're throwing heavy things. That's when, according to the cops who reviewed security footage, that Irene went into the kitchen, grabbed a bucket of hot grease, and tried to douse the victims with it.
God. Oh, my God.
Oh, now you fucked up. You have fucked up now.
You want wings? I'll give you wings. I'll turn you two into wings.
Yeah, you're
stick them in the fryer.
You're gonna eat yourself.
Man, that's messed up because that can be super dangerous. So
Yeah.
she just comes out with like boiling grease, and she's like, yeah.
It wasn't boiling, but it was hot. So
Okay.
it will hurt.
It would definitely probably burn, right?
Yes. Irene said that she aimed the bucket purposely in front of the counter so that it wouldn't hit the two. She said she used it as a scare tactic.
Lady, you already threw ranch packets at them.
That didn't get the message across.
She's trying to make it sound like, oh, well, this is. I was able to curtail myself here in this act. Like, no, you just missed. I'm seeing straight through the BS. Like really though, really, you are an employee at a restaurant and you start throwing cups of ranch at customers. Mind you, the customers just knocked over the straws.
Yeah.
At that point, you could have been like, please leave or we're calling the cops. Or, you know what, we'll make you another order. Or you just let them throw their tantrum. But you chose to throw ranch cups. And then you think that the person that thinks that is a logical and equal reaction, they're like, no, cooler heads must prevail. I'm just going to use the hot grease as a scare tactic.
Yes, at this point, yes.
Please. She missed because she's got bad aim. If she had good aim, the ranch packets would have done their job.
Well, according to the interview with Irene at the police station, she says she did admit to spraying ranch dressing on the customers and pelting them with the ranch dressing packets. But then she also says that she believes her actions were justified because the customers were being verbally abusive and that, quote, the tossed oil was not directly aimed at the customers.
No, it definitely was, though. That's what it sounds like when the oil hits them.
So
I'm weirdly siding with the original angry customers here.
Yep. So the police did report that although they were not covered in the oil, little splashes of the oil did hit parts of the two customers, which did result in, quote, shiny burnt skin. So
okay, I mean,
I guess,
yeah, it's a hot grease will do that.
Yeah, so just, a little bit of damage, but nothing, nothing that it could have been, especially if it was boiling or something.
I think she missed. And she's like, whoa, I dodged a bullet here because if she had hit them, she would have been in serious trouble.
Well, guess what? I think she's still going to be in some serious trouble here.
I mean, yeah, she did assault them. I mean, they assaulted her too. I mean, it's just assault all around. Like, everybody gets assault.
Well, here's the thing. One of the customers was actually 16 years old.
Oh, no.
Yep. So Irene was actually arrested and charged with aggravated battery and child abuse.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Because you done goofed.
Yep.
That does suck.
And I know who it's coming from because I back-traced it. And I know who's emailing and who's doing it. And you've been reported to the cyber police. Consequences will never be the same.
Teens nowadays are feral.
Yes, exactly.
No, literally. I was recently at the Willow Grove Mall.
You're starting to sound like you're the old man now.
I am starting to sound like an old. I had to go to the physical mall to go to a physical store to buy a physical phone. And they had signs about curfew for teens. They're like, you can't be in the mall by yourself after, I think it was like 3 p.m. I'm like, what?
3 p.m.?
It was like either 3 or 5 p.m. I'm like, what are teens doing?
Well, I guess maybe this is it. They're
curfew at the mall?
They're causing a ruckus at the Wingstop.
People back in our day, they just used to drop us off at the mall and be like,
yeah, run around.
We'll see you when the mall closes, maybe.
Yeah, good luck. Get a ride from one of your friends.
Yeah, like this kid goes into the Wingstop and starts throwing straws and throwing. Now I flip-flopped again. I was against the perps, then I was against the staff. Now I'm against the perps again because they're feral.
So yeah, Irene has both of those are felony charges.
Wow.
Yep. Bond was set at $15,000. And the Wingstop had to be shut down because the floor was greasy and slippery, and the oil was all over the floor. So they're going to need some significant cleanup crew to come in and try and clean up all that oil.
I do feel bad that Irene was charged with such heavy crimes, but at the same time, she did throw hot grease at a 16-year-old. But then on the flip side, the 16-year-old is absolutely wild and out of pocket, as the kids would say. The feral teens. So, I mean, this is a case of if you put this on the subreddit, Am I the Asshole? Like, everybody's
an asshole.
Everybody sucks here. This is just, it sucks from top to bottom.
Yeah. But I think definitely Irene taking the oil is
The
a
oil
step too far.
Yeah, that was a step too far. Like, up until that point, it was like, you guys are being ridiculous. You guys are being stupid. But then she brings up something that could cause serious harm.
Yeah.
And throws that at a 16-year-old. That's.
But she said, I was just trying to scare him with it, so I aimed it short.
Yeah, that's like, I fired my gun near him as a warning. Like, no.
Yeah.
Like, that's.
It's a warning shot.
That's not a thing. That's not a thing.
So there you go.
Yeah.
True odd news story there from Florida. And it is a chicken wing story, so hopefully
that's a good sign.
Is that a good sign for the Eagles then? Because
yes, absolutely.
You got a wing flavored odd news story.
Yes. I think it's a good sign.
Yes. All right.
It's a good sign.
Excellent.
I'm so excited for wings. And also the Super Bowl. But mostly wings.
Yeah. Definitely food is an important part.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Yeah. Oh, man. So there you go, folks. That's what we have for you this week in the Non-Fortune Cookie Odd News. And it is time to start wrapping this episode up. And it's time to start getting ready, folks. It's this Sunday, Super Bowl.
Oh, boy.
59. It is here. Rooting for the Eagles. And we both believe that we think the Eagles could do it.
I do. I do believe.
So that would be a great way to come back next week and report to you. But either way, whether or not the Eagles win or the Chiefs get their third consecutive Super Bowl victory, we'll be here next week to let you know our reactions. Hopefully not. Yeah.
I don't like how they're all excited about the three-peat already. Like it already happened.
If you're going to barf, you're going to have to do it off screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we'll be here to let you know our opinions on next week's episode, which you need to have a way to get the episode sent to you. Two main ways to do that. First one is on our YouTube page. Go to Crispy Noodle Podcast, hit that subscribe button, and you'll get the episode sent right to your YouTube account when it comes out, and you'll get our opinions on it right then and there. Second main way is on Spotify. We put the video podcast up on Spotify, so you can listen to us there. You can also put us on in the background in Spotify and listen to us as an audio-only podcast. And if you have Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, you can take us on the go with you using Spotify. So if you're driving around to your Super Bowl party, make sure you take us with you on the go and let us be part of the Super Bowl shenanigans.
That's right. So many ways to check out the Crispy Noodle Podcast, but if you need to get in touch with us individually to share your sports, entertainment, or odd news stories, you can find us individually on X, formerly known as Twitter. I'm at Mikey Costanzo, MikeyCostanzo.
And I am at Rich Liebig, RichLiebig. Find us on social media and let us know how you're doing Super Bowl and your reactions to the big game. But for right now, it's time to wrap this week's episode up. This has been the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys
later. Bye-bye, all you fine peoples. Good night and go Birds.
Woo!
Woo!
Yeah.
Some of us have great stories, pretty stories that take place at lakes with boats and friends and noodle salad. A lot of people, that's their story. Good times, noodle salad.